Why do people leave Chelem, Mexico? Hi, I'm Kyber with TrustFirst Real Estate, and in this video I'll talk about the reasons why people leave. This is something that's not as often talked about, and once you're here for a while you'll see that almost as many people are leaving as people that are staying, or moving here rather. So these are the negatives, right? And while we are talking about the negatives, we want to say that we do highly recommend Chelem as a beachfront town in Mexico, or Merida if you're looking for a busier lifestyle and more access to amenities. But let's talk about these things, because these are things that are often swept under the rug until people just can't stand them anymore. So first thing we'll talk about is the dual economy of Chelem, Mexico, or the Yucatan as a whole. Oftentimes, the price that you're quoted as an expat or a foreigner is going to be completely different than the price that is quoted to a local. It's going to be more, right? Because all foreigners are filthy rich and we have all the money in the world. Not really, but that's the way some people think. And so if you're trying to buy a piece of land for 1,000,000 pesos, the seller would find out that you're foreigner and might ask you to pay 1.2 million. Or if you hire a plumber, he might charge a local 300 pesos to fix a certain thing, and he might charge you 900. And while that price is probably a lot better than what we would pay in Canada or the US or other parts of the world, it's still 3 times more than what a local would pay. And sometimes this can get to people, understandably so. The next thing we'll talk about is the heat. Now, this is a bit less of a problem if you're by the beach because you have the ocean breeze. But if you're in Merida, for example, or a little more inland in Chelem, some people just can't take it, right? It is really hot in the summer, and things can get expensive with the ACs blasting all over the house. And some people just find it extremely unpleasant to the point where they'd rather not be here. And that's understandable. And that's one of the reasons we recommend people rent here, and especially take the time to rent in the summer, because the winter is wonderful. The winter is a little cooler, but the summer is definitely very, very warm, and for some people, intolerable. Another reason is health problems. Healthcare is very accessible here. The prices are very, very reasonable. Even being hospitalized for a week is, it comes up to something that most people can afford if you have a bit of savings, right? You might be looking at anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000. 20 years ago, my mother was hospitalized in Progreso, and after a week of being there, the bill was $1,500 Canadian. Of course, 20 years has passed and things get more expensive as time goes on, but it's still very reasonable compared to the US. But some people are already paying for healthcare in the US and have a great plan. And when you don't speak the same language, or Spanish is not your native language, and you're going through health complications and you have to make decisions, it's very understandable that someone would want to be speaking to a doctor that that speaks the same language perfectly in order to make the right decisions. So that's completely understandable. Another thing is vacationing versus living here. Some people come here for a vacation, and you leave your busy lifestyle, you come here and it's quiet, and you really feel relaxed, and you think that that's something that you want all year round, the extreme quietness and serenity. But the truth is that no one wants to be on the beach 8 hours a day, absolutely every single day, and nobody wants to be working every single day. It's nice to have a balance of both, and that's why vacationing feels so good, because it's a break from the fast pace. But then if you vacation too much, if you're like me, you're going to want a break from the slow pace. You're going to want a bit of action. You're going to want a bit of work, and you're going to want to go out there and really strive for something. And I think that hits some people a little harder than they expected, right? Especially if you're younger and you're not retired yet. You might still have that hunger for a faster pace of life and a lot more friends, whereas here it really is slower in every sense. Even the driving, people drive a lot slower here. Everything is slower here, and some people can't handle it, and I understand. It can get to you. So it's really good to rent here during the winter, during the summer, and truly understand before making the move. That being said, we highly recommend moving to Chelem. Hi. I know her, but she has her headphones in. We highly recommend moving to Chelem, but doing it with the proper steps, making sure that it's for you, and really taking your time. I'm Kyber with TrustFirst Real Estate, and if you're looking to buy a home in Chelem, I'd be happy to chat with you and see if our two families work well together. And from there, I can send you a list of homes that match your criteria, both from our selection as well as some of the brokerages that we network with, that we know are trustworthy and provide for an ease of transaction. Just going to give you a view of the morning here. It's a beautiful morning on the beach. I'm Kyber, and I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.